This is my entry for this week's DreamSnap, Nature Takeover, and I had a lot of fun with this one. I wasn't sure if it was completely on theme, but when I saw the title, it made me think of nature taking over or reclaiming something, which made me think of an overgrown, apocalyptic city. I wasn't sure if I could get enough greenery in a city build, but I wanted to try. So I threw down some asphalt with border for my road, and brick road with border for my sidewalk, and some Tower of Terrors for a few city buildings. I didn't like the building at the end of the street like that, so I pushed the building back and brought the road out on both sides. Brought the sidewalk out as well. Added some castle ruins for some more destroyed looking buildings. I tried changing up which pieces I used so it would feel more natural. I didn't really have a plan for how the ruined buildings should look, so I just put pieces down that sort of looked like they went together, and realized I should probably have a doorway on these buildings. So scooted things around to make room for one. Figured that was good for now and switched to adding some leaf piles to add some greenery. I wanted to get the basics of the shot down to see if it was going to work or if I had to veer to something else. Adding some trees. I mostly used the jungle looking ones for the vines, and some green trees so I could have some twisting branches to clip through the walls, to add a more overgrown vibe. I love the idea of the vine hanging down into the shot, so I was hoping I could get that when I went into camera mode. And I thought the rusted street lamp was perfect for this, so I added a few of them at the end of the street. Added a couple rusted benches. All these items really worked well for this shot. Realized I probably needed to extend my road if I wanted to use that vine in my shot, as there was too much grass showing at the bottom of the screen. Checking if that fixed it, and that's better. Adding a couple of Oswald's cars to help the road feel more abandoned. Debated adding the New Orleans streetcar and some train tracks, but wasn't sure how I would get that to fit in. Looking through some of the tagged items to see if they look like something I want to add. I liked that the tree with the swing was a little taller, so I added one into the ruins. I liked the different broken stone pillars, and thought they kinda matched the brick look of the ruins, so I added a couple to the edges to help extend the broken walls and help them feel less straight. Added some mushrooms. I liked how they looked and thought it helped the overgrown feeling. Debated some more items. I really wanted to get the web-snared tree in, but it didn't want to fit anywhere, so I had to scoot some things around to squeeze it in. I tried to put it in the foreground, but it wasn't seeable there, so I put it back. The shot was feeling like it had potential, so I grabbed some items to drop and add in. And I was not on the side of the build I thought I was. Trying to add a few items. Tires, gears, radiators, and logs. Shifting to get a better angle to see where things are. And it was getting annoying to grab the items from over there, so moving them over to a better spot. Adding some ancient plates. I thought it kinda looked like it could be crumpled wall or road, so I scattered it around, and tried to make a pothole, using them to cover the pathing border, and create unevenness. I also thought it could be fun to have a small tree growing out of it, to help with the nature taking over vibe, and I thought that looked cool. Scattering some more items around, to help with the messy, chaotic, apocalyptic vibe. Adding another tree, since the skyline was feeling a little empty on that side. Adding another pothole. Considered adding another tree in it, but it felt too close to the other one. Adding some golden felt cap mushrooms, and some butterfly flowers. Adding some ferns, and decided I actually liked the Glade of Chest ones better, which is unusual, since I usually gravitate towards the coloring of the Forest of Valor ones. But the coloring on the Glade ones just matched the jungle items better. I wanted to add grass, but it wouldn't go on pathing, so I tried cutting out a patch of the path to let some natural grass show, adding some more cracks, and plates, and another tree and a pothole. I tried adding another crack near the foreground, but couldn't cover the path's border, so just added a leaf pile instead. Adding another grubby log, and some plastic scrap. I liked that the broken cobblestone path kinda looked like it could be debris or a broken up road. I liked the sparks from the Vizier's lab machine, and thought it looked cool behind the lamppost. Not that it was that seeable back there. Adding some fireflies. I considered adding a water sprayer, but wasn't sure where, and wasn't quite feeling it. Added some butterflies. I love that they let us pick what colors we want to use, though I wish they gave us the pink and white ones as well. Adding more clutter. I considered the fairy garden for wind, but it didn't fit. I thought the rolled up rugs could be cool, but they didn't really feel right when I tried to place them. I considered the leaf piles, but didn't like that they felt brighter than the other leaf pile, so they stayed in the back. I wasn't sure about the guitar, but thought it looked interesting there. I thought the frog was cute, so I added a couple. Added a bird's nest to the back. I considered adding an incense burner to the foreground, or some smoke effects, but wasn't feeling it. Added some scrolls, and some crates, and some snotty tissue for the abandoned trash vibe. Added a pile of crates to the ruins. I liked that campfire, but it didn't really fit the shot. Added some fallen barrels, and a standing barrel. Scattering in some soda cans, and a couple of sacks. I considered the book, but it didn't feel right. I thought the wildebeest remains added to the apocalyptic wilderness reclaiming the city vibe, and scattered some bones near them. Added a pine cone near the tree, and I recently got the jungle vines, so I thought they could be cool to add. I liked the one on the leaf pile, since you couldn't see that it was on top of the road. I tried to add some ancient plates around the other one, to try and make it look like it was forcing its way through the road, and thought it looked interesting, so I added some plates to the other one as well. Added another jungle vine to the back, and more cobblestone path. A little too much cobblestone. Figured it was time to check how it was looking in camera mode, so getting into place. I don't like how far back I need to have my camera in order to have the hanging vine in my foreground. Trying a different angle. Not working. Trying a different jungle tree to see if their vines will work. And they're too high up as well. Looking for a different tree that might work. Checking out the clusters to see if they have any vines I can use. Not seeing any, so I wanted to try the root arch and see if I liked that. Smaller one is too small. Bigger one isn't working either. Trying the cluster of trees at the edge to see if I like that. Added another one of the other trees, and it has a lower vine on the other side, rotating it for a better position. More rotating. And that kind of works. Scooted it over a little more, and replaced the cluster of trees for another one with the vine. Checking how that looks. I'm not sure about the other vine, and feel like I want the camera closer to the right, which cuts it off. Also debating poses, as I was hoping to have Simba or Scar lurking in the background, and have my character hiding while trying to loot. But wasn't sure if I wanted to use a capybara pose or a glider transition. I added a butterfly flower. Too far over, scooting it. Considered the thorn vines, but they don't like pathing. You would think I would have remembered that after the struggle I had with them last time. I wanted to add more greenery, but was having trouble finding spots for it. I tried moving the cobblestone and the flower to put a bush there, but didn't like it. Switched it back. Checking how it's looking. I'm pretty happy with it, but something feels off. I figured I'd add my tags while I thought about it. I also wanted to have a bunch of critters in my shot, so I grabbed Zero's house since it's the easiest to hide. And I wanted to use a glitch to freeze them where I wanted them. I believe this version of the glitch is only usable on PC. So to do this glitch, you want to put the critter you want to freeze in a critter house. Then stand about where you want them. I was debating where I wanted him. But once they are where you want, just pet them and go straight into furniture mode immediately. If they are glitched, they will be walk-throughable, and you can even place items on them if you want, to glitch them into them. To unfreeze them, just pet them again. I also wanted a squirrel, so I grabbed him next. I find it easier to just focus on one at a time, instead of grabbing all of them at once. Checking their placement, and I like that. Moving their house aside. As long as it stays in their wandering range, it should be fine to move. Grabbing Simba and pulling him to the back of the shot. And blocking him in with touch magic that I can hide when I take the shot. I didn't quite have enough, so I added another jungle thorn to help block him in. Went back to check how it looks, and decided I wanted to add a monkey. So, moving the critter house back. I wasn't sure where a good spot for him would be, so I checked in camera mode. And I was thinking somewhere between the ancient plate and the trunk of the car. I tried to lure him closer with a critter toy. Moved the house aside while I waited, and decided I wanted the raccoon to turn a little more towards where my character would be standing. So I unfroze him. I tried to immediately refreeze him, but that didn't work. So I had to wait for him to come back. But he didn't want to. So moved the critter house back, since they like to stay near it. I did not know the raccoons like to play with the wildebeest remains. And I got him. I thought that was a little better, but wasn't really sure. Now to wait for the monkey. Moving the house aside. Checking the shot. Needed to move my character forward. Too far. Backing up a bit. Little more adjusting. Something's feeling off. So I tried adding fog. But it was too much. Checking why Simba is not wandering around. Okay, he likes the cauldron apparently. Getting back into position. Trying out using the walking stick instead. Which I liked, but you couldn't really see it that well. Shifting a bit, but that didn't help. And that radiator is starting to bother me, so I need to move it. Also feeling like the rope might need to scoot to the other side. Moving the radiator, adding a sack, hoping it might look like that's where my character's been putting some of the items she's looted. I also kinda wanted to put another raccoon by my character, since I had been feeling a little empty in the foreground. Waiting for him to go where I want. And he does not want to come over here. Almost, but a little too far over. So, decided to move the house to the other side, which he immediately went to. Got him, but he leveled up, which interrupted the freeze. Tried moving the house back, and he cut through on the other side of the tree. Got him, and I'm not sure that's where I want him. Unfreezing him. Wasn't fast enough that time. I was starting to feel like he was avoiding the spot I wanted him in. Got him. Moving the house aside. Grabbing some orange butterflies to add to the foreground. Trying out Hey Hey's pose instead. Not facing the right way, need to adjust. That's better, but I'm not sure what part of the pose I want to use. I did think it was cute that it looked like the raccoon was grabbing my character's hand, but didn't like that my character was facing away, and blocking more than I wanted. That felt a little better, since you could at least see part of my character's face, and it felt a little less blocking. But I didn't like the shadow covering the entire foreground, so moving the other tree, to see if that helps. And that's a lot better. I almost went with this shot, but after sitting on it for a bit, I decided I wanted to make some changes. So, after booting up the game again, I refroze all the characters. I wanted to try swapping out some of the towers for some buildings with some greenery on them. The Haunted Mansion was a bit too big for that spot, so I grabbed the French bakery. Checking how that might look, feels a little better. I love the greenery on it, but something is feeling a little off. So I debated while I switched the foreground tower to another house. I really wanted to use the Haunted Mansion, but it didn't want to fit, so I tried scooting some things. Still didn't fit. Moved the tower to the other side. It's still not happy about something. Scooted the tree. Now it fits. And I liked that. I need to move the trash can and a few other things, but I like it. The bakery is still bothering me a little, so I tried twisting it around to see if a different angle feels better. I like that side better. I think the awning just felt too clean or something. Twisting the car a little, since it was starting to feel like it was blocking a bit too much. Scooting some tags that are seeable now. Adding another castle wall. Trying to scoot it forward a bit. Scooting the trash can back, and shifting some of the items that were near it. Cleaning up my touch of magic blockers, since Simba didn't want to be in the shot anyway. Adding another tower to the back, since the skyline was feeling a little empty. Shifting a tag item around to get the tower in a better spot. Checking how it's looking. I liked that better, but something was still feeling a little off. So I decided to try the fog again. Felt like too much, so I wanted to try a transition with the fog, which was better, but still didn't feel right. So I went back to clear skies, and decided I didn't like the tower on the right, and replaced it with a water tower. I also wanted to add a little more nature to the shot, so I added a bunch of flower petals. I really wanted to add Wally's billboard, but didn't have room for it. Shifted some things around to add a small tree to that corner, to add to the overgrown vibe. Adding another tree to the back as well, and another in the foreground ruins. Added more petals to the foreground, twisting them to be at a better angle, and reluctantly decided that the foreground raccoon was not in the right spot, so unfroze him. Added some blockers to limit his walkway. At least when you move the house, it makes them run to it. So you can kinda use it to get them to go where you want. Checking if that's better. Too far over now. Unfreezing him again. I thought that spot felt better, so cleaned up my blockers, and checking in camera mode. Better, but my character's in the wrong spot now. Scooting a bit, checking again. Better, but I forgot about the critter toy, and want to shift around some of the items near it. So I scooted the gears, moved the scrolls, got rid of the toy. Checking how that looks. And that feels better, but I want to change my character's hair, so you can see her face better. And I want to scoot the tire a little. Checking if that's better. I'm not sure if moving the tire really did much, but otherwise I'm happy. It took a bit to get decent butterflies, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. If you're curious, this snap took a little over 3 hours to do. Thank you for watching the video. Please like it if you found it at all helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more like this.